viewers, welcome back to the channel. I feel like something sweet today. My sweet tooth craving is kicking in. So I have had in my cupboard, if I buy rusks, normally when the packet is empty or if I've baked rusks, those crumbs that are left, I normally keep those. So now I've had quite a few left in my cupboard, in my store cupboard, and I've just made it fine. I've hammered it a bit until it is now fine, and I've added some melted butter and pressed it neatly into 2 tart cases because it's only my one angel and fat pig that's going to eat with me. So 2 small tarts, that is what I want to make just for the 2 of us today. So I'm going to put it into the oven in these molds of mine that I have just for a little bit. The oven was on. I'm going to turn it off now. It was on at 180 degrees, and I'm just going to pop it in there for a few seconds while I'm busy making the filling for my tart. I'm going to make a custard filling, and I'm going to put fruit on top, so it's a fruit custard tart. But for now, I'm just waiting for that crust, and I'm going to put this away so that I can use it again for another tart. Right, now I'm busy making the custard. As you can see, I've taken the shells now from the oven, they're cooling down, and I'm going to put them in the fridge in a little while. But I'm making the filling, the egg custard. Now this is my sister-in-law's favorite recipe. She will have such a laugh. I've halved the recipe. So once you have a look on Facebook on my page there, 2 Angels and a Fat Pig, you will find all recipes for all dishes that I've made is there to be had to look at. So I've now put in the milk in the pot and I'm waiting for it to boil. I have here 3 egg yolks and about 60 milliliters of sugar and 12.5 milliliters of corn flour, and I've just mixed it together. This is what the egg custard is all about, and there I've got some melted butter left from the tart shells. So my milk is now close to being boiling point, so I'm just going to put a spoonful here in this egg mix. I don't want it to curdle, and just give it a good stir, and then slowly but surely, while I'm stirring, I'm just adding it to the milk that's boiling, and I'm going to stir like that. Mix it nicely so it will now thicken. I've also put some caramel essence. Now the original recipe says I must have a vanilla pot and infuse the milk. It's difficult to find a vanilla pot in Namibia. But as you can see, if my videographer will come closer, you will see that the custard starts to thicken. And you will have to let it boil for a while continuously stirring. Otherwise, it's going to burn at the bottom. Now this custard mix needs to cool down completely in the fridge. So it's a long process, but believe me, it's going to be worth it in the end. Now you can see it's now turning really nicely and thick. It's close to a milk tart recipe, the one that I grew up with, this egg custard that you made. But there you can see it's nice and smooth, and it looks as if you can just lick the pot. But anyway, once it's cooked, I'll turn off the stove top. Once it's bubbled a bit like that, then you know the corn flour is cooked completely. Otherwise you have that funny taste. So the remaining melted butter, I just add now, and I'm just going to stir it through. And once that is done, I'm going to pour it into another bowl, just not to put the pot in the fridge, I don't like that. But anyway, there it is now nicely. Pour it into this bowl, and I'm going to cover it with a bit of cling wrap, and just that it doesn't make that awful skin on top. Some people love that. I know my brother used to love it. I'm not a fan. So I'm just going to cover that with a little bit of plastic that I have ready here, that skin does not fall. Nicely like that. pop it into the fridge until it's cold, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to do then. The final step to making this lovely peach custard tart is the following. The custard is now cooled down. I have just given it a good whip. If you want to, you can take about 100 milliliters of cream, fresh cream, and whip it until stiff peaks form, and then just fold it through the custard. But I'm going to cheat today. So here's my tart crusts or cases that I've got, and I'm just filling them with the custard that I've made, and just smoothing it out a bit. Let me not fill it to the brim. But this custard is so tasty. I cannot begin to explain to you. I wish you could taste it across the screen of this video. So filling the tart cases nicely. Oh, there's some left to lick out the bowl. And here I've just got a small tin of peach slices. And now I'm just going to decorate the tarts. Just putting the peach slices on top. This is now a lovely and healthy afternoon tea snack. Don't know whether I want to put these upright for a bit of variety, you know, so that the other angel and my fat pig can also enjoy a difference. So just look how beautiful you can, and you can use any fruit. It doesn't need to be peach. It can be kiwi fruit, it can be strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, whatever you have available. And there you have, today it's my fruit custard tart. I hope you enjoyed with us. Enjoy your afternoon tea.